Hey guys, welcome to the first video in the series of What Have I Done? What Went Wrong? Last week I had my first gig at the Star here in Guildford. I was depping for a guitarist in a band of first years called Liquid Tension. For this I had to learn a list of repertoire that included neo-soul tunes, funk tunes, soul tunes, as well as some pop numbers in there. It was an awesome gig and it was a lot of fun playing with the guys, and a little bit of footage from it can be seen here.
What's it gonna take? How many times you gonna break those your mind? You like to spin, eat your fruit, and then you scoop till your mind. You want to be back, that's on my block. It's time to see. I won't be a lady, no. Don't mess with my head, don't mess with my boy.
Of course, last week it was Halloween, and so I'd gone out and bought 148 balloons with the intention of filling our house for the party we were having. In the end, no one turned up to the party, so instead my housemates and I decided to hit the town while I was looking like this. So what went wrong? After buying 148 balloons and having blown them all up with my housemate, while they were still in the house, a couple of days later, one of our friends that came over decided to do this to me.
You filming that? Maybe jump like
So I spent the last 3 days of that week deaf in my left ear. And they proceeded to do things a little bit like this. Also last week, I had the chance to conduct my first set of interviews with ACMers. We sat down with students from the bass degree, drums degree, guitar degree, keyboard degree, and vocal degree, and asked them all why they decided to study at the ACM. I chose to ask them what it is they found most helpful in the last academic year, and gave them the opportunity to plug any work they have coming up soon.
My name's Jay Bonney and I'm studying drums performance degree year 2. In the last year we had a lesson named creative musicianship. We studied sort of Latin and linear stuff, and I had that with Frank Tonto.
So this week I was asked to sit in on a studio session at Surrey University. Not to play, but to film a band that was recording 2 tracks. This session lasted from 9 AM till what ended up being was 5 AM in the morning, and I've probably drunk the most coffee I've ever drunk in my life, and a couple of things happened a little bit like this.
Don't bring out that laugh again. That's
It's
great.
embarrassing, right? Oh. I can switch it on and off though. It's so much worse. It's like Santa
After the effects of the coffee had worn off, perhaps at say around 4 AM, I sat down with all the band members and interviewed them, asking them how the session had gone. Also this week, in our dissertation lectures, called Specialised Project, we had a film composer come along and show us some of the work that he's been working on.
And all of a sudden it becomes something organic, because it was organic, it still moves, but it moves very slowly, it doesn't sound like a synth. And so I did some experiments with that as well. For example, yeah? I don't know where I found this sample, but let's make it slower. It's soft, but it's still moving, yeah?
So sick.
I wish I could turn this up a bit more, but I can't. That's all right. Yeah, so you can still hear something that sounds like singing, but nobody would ever be able to sing like that. And so I created a huge pool of sounds and ideas before I got the first edit.
This week, some of my friends and I decided to jump into the studio and record a spontaneous jam session. Here's some of the footage. One of the biggest highlights of last week was hosting my first jam night in London. This was done with a company called Meet and Jam that I recently began writing for. Meet and Jam are a music networking website where musicians can make their own profiles, message one another, meet up and jam, and also use one of the 107 studios that are now registered with the company. Overall, the night was a huge success, and not only did musicians come down from the ACM, but from Tech Music School, the Institute, and Brit School. Over the course of the evening, as we got up and jammed on a range of different tunes, it proved that the jam nights and Meet and Jam are a great networking opportunity for musicians like myself. As the company develops further, and hopefully through my involvement with them, we'll see more jam nights happening regularly. If you want to make a profile on the website or you want to follow us on any of our social network pages, the URL for this will be here. So that's what I've done and what went wrong in the last 2 weeks. If you guys like this video and want to see any more, hit the subscribe button. If you want to read any of my articles or check out any of my other work, you can find the link for my website in the description below. Until next time guys, take it easy.